We just going through the vinyl over here right now. Sit. You gotta be a specific person to know about this. You know what I mean? Somebody told Maceo what up. Talking original shit over here. Come on, son. In the era of streaming, right? In the era of streaming, it is very easy to look authentic and original, like you're doing something when you're really not doing nothing. And the fact that you don't have to invest any money or true time into getting it done does not make it the same as what's happening over here. So we just going through the records right now.
All right, we're going through. One of my prized possessions, this is Paul Carr, actually, who left this record with me in college. I've been trying to get it back to him for like 25 years, actually.
Wow.
But, you know, this is a part of the culture, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who else would hold his record for 25 years but me? You know
And actually give him, and actually say you can come and get it if you want it.
That's right. Well, his son goes to Morehouse right now, so next time he comes to Atlanta, I surprise Paul at his son's dorm room with his Peach Fuzz vinyl, you know what I mean? And Paul Carr is actually the first brother to let me hear Dilla on a beat tape in 1995, okay? So I was listening to Dilla in 94, 95 on a beat tape from a brother that was from Detroit, okay? So that's how much far back we go in the culture. This is pre-internet, when you had to go word of mouth to keep up with the culture.
And the picture is representing and reflecting some of the same issues that's going on today.
And if you don't understand who KMD is because you're a little young and you're a millennial, KMD is MF Doom. Okay, This is where MF Doom sound come from. This is his group. Okay, you know, he has a very controversial album out called Black Bastards, and that album was actually banned because we were actually we were always being persecuted for being hip hop and forward thinking, you know, and we opened the door up for the liberal movements and the forward thinking and the gay rights. We challenged culture just like everybody else did, but that's not considered relevant history yet. But we're gonna make it relevant history. Let's go through some more.
Older gods.
Older gods. Now right here, this is an essential record if you live the culture. Essential. And it's essential not because of Buck 'Em Down, the video. It's essential because of Murder MCs. Okay? Now if you really know what I'm talking about, if you really know what you're talking about, Murder MCs is killing every niggas in sight. Okay? Now that album right there was liable to start a riot in 1995, 1996 in the club. You don't understand the culture. You don't understand what you're looking at. These boys were our age. We were young boys at this time. And we felt these boys because they were our age, given our culture. Look at the clothes, the hockey jerseys. That's the kind of stuff that we wore. This is Sunny surplus gear, military gear we would get from military stores. You couldn't go into one store and get the whole look. You had to go to several different stores. You had to have a budget. You got the hockey jersey one week, and then a month later you would get the Timbs, and then you put it all together, and you would let the outfit stay in your closet until you had it all together. This is the culture that we lived, okay? This is not quick, fast, ready-made stuff. This is stuff that took a lot of thinking and process, okay? Hip-hop is a process. It's not an overnight culture, and I'm about to show you some more of what that means, okay? Okay, we're going to go into this one. How to Kill a Man, Cypress Hill, on vinyl, okay? Now this song is famous because of its play in the soundtrack of Juice. But it's also important because these were a West Coast group that got love on the East Coast like they was from New York, okay? In a time when that was almost impossible. They really had no coast when this album came out, okay? This is what actually made brothers on the East Coast connect with East Coast guys. I mean, brothers on the East Coast connect with West Coast guys. So when I got to college and I met West Coast guys that were Latino and black, I understood their culture from the Cypress Hill record. That's how deep the culture went. Before the internet and profiles, you understood the demographics of places from records, okay? You didn't have a profile. You didn't have pictures uploaded constantly. You were audio. You listened to words, and words told a story of who a person might be, and then you confirmed it with an actual meeting of the person, okay? So let's go through the culture a little bit more. This is one of my favorite records of all time. This is not the jacket for it, but this is Apache's Gangsta Bitch, okay? Now, if you know anything about history, there probably wouldn't be a lot of Queen Latifah records if it wasn't for Apache, okay? He had the sound that Queen Latifah also had. He wrote some of her rhymes I've even heard, okay? Now, and if you want to know even deeper in the culture, you want to know who produced this record? Q-Tip produced this record, okay? People have no idea that this sound, Q-Tip was really developing the sound that became the Dilla sound and the other underground cultures with random acts, random groups like Apache and Hood that was on the Scenario remix. But this is the culture, all right? Let's go a little deeper. Let's go in the crate. Let's just pick out something random. Let's show you how this works. Okay, here we go. Living Color. Most people have no idea about this black rock band that came out in the 90s, okay? This is an album called Love Rears Its Ugly Head. Now, I know you don't have the vinyl, but go put that in YouTube. This is some of the flyest, newest, dopest shit. Like, this is from the era of Basquiat, okay? This is like the brothers that were influenced by being a bohemian black guy before we even knew what being a bohemian black man was. There wasn't a lot of options during this time, but we were pushing the culture. And Living Color, also where the TV show got its name from, the group Living Color, okay? This is the culture. Go check them out. This is hip hop history right here. All right, let's keep going. Let's dig. Let's dig. All right. Considered one of the best hip-hop album covers of all time. The Diabolical Biz Markie, The Biz Never Sleeps. And if you really know anything about hip-hop, Biz Markie was on the same level as Jay-Z at one time, okay? When Biz Markie came to your town and was in your mall, everybody came to the mall, okay? Biz Markie was the first rapper to truly have radio hits other than like Run DMC and other people, okay? He was a radio rapper before we even had the concept of a rapper breaking through on radio, okay? And he was a rapper that had your attention in videos before rappers could truly get your attention in videos. He was a true character, and one of the true characters. There'd be no ODB without Biz Markie, okay? That's how it works. It's a generational thing, and we still are the keepers of that generational culture. Let's go a little bit deeper. Alright, now you really gotta be an OG to have this record right here, okay? I used to go to New York twice a year because I had family in Queens and go look through records. I probably bought this record when I was 11 years old. We Can Do This, DJ Red Alert. This was everything that people in New York heard on the radio, and here I was, a kid in Baltimore, actually living in Baltimore County, and I was listening to everything that they were listening on Hot 97 on vinyl in my house. Even down to We Can Do This, We Can Do This, DJ Red Alert's son on the breaks, okay? All of this was on here. I couldn't find the Jimmy record for KRS-One. I heard Jimmy for the first time on this record because it was so hard to find classic New York records in Baltimore, Maryland. But I didn't let that stop me. Any vacation I took to New York, I took the boombox and the tape, found out what was relevant, and then hunted it down for a year or two until I could actually find the vinyl. Let's go a little bit deeper. Okay. Now, if you really call yourself a member of the Bohemian native tongue type of vibe, and you don't have ring, ring, ha, ha, hey, De La Soul, you really don't know what you're talking about. Like, this is the culture at its highest level. And if you really are a De La Soul fan, you understand this, you know this song, Afro Connections at a High Five, In the Eyes of the Hoodlum. Afro Connect, okay? Like, go look that up on YouTube if you really want to know what the sound of the culture sounded like to a middle school boy in 1990, 91, all right? See what